All right, in this third lesson of chapter 6, we are going to solve multi-step inequalities. Okay, the same steps you use to solve multi-step equations, you can use for inequalities, but remember the one difference. When you multiply or divide by a negative, switch the direction of your inequality. So let's take a look at these examples. To get y alone, we would subtract 2 from both sides. Are you dividing by a negative? No, you're simply subtracting. So you do not switch the direction of your inequality. The next step to get y alone is to divide by 3. Are you dividing by a negative? No, you're dividing by a positive 3. Do not switch the direction of the inequality. And then don't forget to graph. Most of the time you're going to be asked to graph your solution on a number line. So greater than 9, open circle because it's not including, and greater than goes to the right. The next one, to solve for a, to get a by itself, we would subtract 4 from both sides. We are not yet dividing by a negative. But now when we divide out the negative 5, we are dividing by a negative. So we do switch the direction of our inequality. And again, we'll graph the solution on a number line. This time it has or equal. Let's go to the right. Right, let's try a number. Say we put negative 2 in for a. So that would be negative 5 times negative 2. And then add 4, that'd be 10 plus 4. It's 14. Yes, that is less than 34. Let's go back to the first one. Let's try a number. Let's try negative 3. So if we put negative 3 in for y, we'd have negative 9 plus 2, that's negative 7. That is greater than negative 25. Again, if you have trouble with negatives, think temperatures. 7 below is warmer than 25 below. Okay. A couple others here. This first one, there's a couple ways to do this. Don't always automatically multiply both sides by the reciprocal. That's perfectly acceptable. We could multiply both sides by 3 or 3 over 1. But in this case, if you look carefully, 3x over 3 becomes 1x, and 6 over 3 would become 2. So you might save yourself some work if you just look at your problems a little bit carefully. Say, oh, I could have just distributed the 1/3 and I would have been fine. Okay, again, remember to graph. So greater than or equal to negative 3. Negative 3, my pen is dragging again. Okay, and don't forget to check it. So if we were to put a number like negative 1 in for x, that would be negative 3 plus 6 is 3, and then 1/3 of 3 is 1, and that is greater than negative 1. And this next one, we have x on both sides of the inequality. So just like we did before when they were equations, we move the x's to one side. Now, it does not matter which side to put it on. We kind of get in the habit of always putting it on the left. But you could move it 5x. Then you'd have a negative to deal with. So I would suggest that you do put it on the left instead. Okay? The other steps are all the same. We are not dividing by a negative. Remember to graph it and just check to make sure that you are getting the correct number. So if we were to put 1 in for x, we'd be comparing 5 minus 2 with 4 plus 11. Well, 3 certainly is smaller than 15, so we have the right direction. Here's some more to solve and graph. If we distribute this time, we'd have 6x plus 12 on the right. And if we subtract 6x from both sides, we'll get negative 17 is greater than 12. Well, that is false. The x terms all canceled, So you are going to have a false statement when you look at it, and there are no solutions. There is no value for the variable to make it true. So in this case, you would have no solution. If you got something that was true, for example, if it was plus 17, then no matter what you put in for x would leave it true. So you'd have x can be any real number. On this one, when we solve it, if we subtract 2n from both sides, we'd have 9n minus 13 is less than 5. Add 13 to both sides. Okay, we haven't divided by a negative at all. And now when we divide by a positive 9, it's positive, so there's no reason to switch the direction of the inequality. So it's just numbers less than 2. And if you want to try a value, you can try 1 or 0 or negative something. But it would be true. If we put in 0, we'd have 0 minus 13 compared with 0 plus 5. And of course, negative numbers are less than positive numbers. A couple more to look at. We have some distributing to do on the right-hand side. Okay, so we got rid of parentheses. When we subtract 10x from both sides, we get negative 3, which is greater than or equal to negative 10. Well, it is greater than negative 10. There's no variable involved, so you got to decide, is it true or is it false? Here it is true. So x is any real number you could think of. On this next one, 1 minus 8m. When we distribute, we get negative 8m and a plus positive 4. If we add 8m to both sides, you get 1 is less than or equal to 4. Again, that's true. 1 is smaller than 4. So m is any real. No matter what you pick for m, 0, 10, negative 6, it will be true. Okay? And here's a word problem dealing with an inequality. You can work at most 24 hours a week as a nurse's aide. So the hours you work have to be less than or equal. You can work 24, but you're not supposed to work more than that. So far this week, you have worked 7 hours. Okay? The remaining shifts for the week are each 4 hours long. So we're talking just hours here. So 4 hours per shift. And we're supposed to stay less than or equal to 24. Okay? Full shifts. This is supposed to be an F too. Sorry about that. You know how to solve this. If we subtract 7 from both sides, you're comparing 4s to 17. And when you divide by 4, that's not negative, so we do not switch the inequality. We get 4.25. Well, you're only working full shifts. Okay? It is how many possible full 4-hour shifts? Well, you can work at most 4 more 4-hour shifts. So what I'm thinking is, when you're young like you are, and you can't work too many hours because they don't want it to interfere with school, maybe you work a 7-hour shift on the weekend, and then during the week you can work 4-hour shifts after school, but not more than that. All righty.